Decision making for automation solutions, a capital intensive and critical activity. Our moderator, Mr. Ramit Mahajan, Head Customer Experience IMEA at Henkel. Also requesting Mr. Mahajan to please introduce our other panelists.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. Thank you for having me here. And I would like to invite my co-panelists, Mr. Pradeep Kumar Sharma, please, from Sun Pharma. Then we have Ugrasen from Cipla. We have Ronak, of course, from V-Logis. And we have Tapaswi. Maybe we start with you then, Pradeep.
Thank you, Ramit. So good morning, Sun Pharma, and I'm heading there the API supply chain, right, beginning from the capacity planning to end customer deliveries, and I do have total 23 of experience in the industry, close to 13 years in pharmaceutical industry, and then adhesive and paint industry for last 10 years. So, and I do have experience in manufacturing, driving operational excellence, and last 13 years it is end-to-end supply chain and supply chain automation mainly. So, thank you.
Thanks.
Hey, hi. Hi, everyone. I'm Ugrasen. I'm from Cipla. I take care of import logistics, licensing, warehousing, and logistic procurement. I'm into industry since 25 years. Started my career with custom broking firm, then freight forwarding, pharma logistics. Hey, this is all about me. Thank you.
Yeah, Ronak, over to you.
Yeah, thank you. So, hello everyone. A very good afternoon to you all. I am Ronak Shah. I am the Executive Director at V-Trans India Limited and also the CEO of V-Logis, our warehousing and inventory management arm. And we are a 65-year-old single window solutions provider company in India. And, essentially present into transportation, express movements, warehousing, and last mile distribution. And today, as most of you would have seen, we've recently ventured into solution designing also, which is a new offering to the entire logistics market. Thank you.
Thanks, Ronak. Yeah, Tapaswi.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Tapaswi. I am from Arvind Limited. I had the EXIM and commercial functions for Arvind. And also my prior experience was with Henkel Adhesives, then Bacardi, Coca-Cola, and Ultratech Cement. So across various industries, handling transportation, warehousing, then automation, then export and import. Thank you.
Thanks, Tapaswi. So yes, I think like Tapaswi also mentioned, he's worked with Henkel. Of course, it's a very cozy group that we have here. I think we know most of each other already. So what I'll do is, gentlemen, we have a very interesting topic with us, which is automation in supply chain. And I have a few questions for each of you, but then in case others would also like to jump in, please feel free to do that. And Pradeep, will be mindful of the time. I know that you have another schedule to catch. So Pradeep, maybe we start with you then. Yeah, can you tell us the key factors that an organization should consider when deciding to implement automation in supply chain?
Yeah, Ramit, because mostly we are seeing that the automation. And then AI, IoT, these things are in air now. But while selecting automation philosophy, the organization has to think about their strategies for automation. Now what we are seeing that the offering agencies goes to the organization, okay, we have this much in our plate, you accept it. But the organization has to think about 2-3 main things when they are strategizing for their automation. First is what they are looking for. Initially, first thing is that whether they want to work for improve their customer services. Second, or they want that currently they have an enormous amount of data or information, they are not able to channelize it. Or they want to have this automation because they have lots of a productivity issue, they are losing efficiencies. And fourth part, which most of the organization do miss, is that whether they do have a standards available, because most of the automation projects are failing because the organization don't think about their master data. Now this is one more area is emerging when they talk about implementing automation and automation project, that organization has to work on their master data, which is going to be the backbone of their automation project. So I think these 3-4 things the organization should keep in mind while they're going to initiate their automation journey.
Thanks, Pradeep. And I can totally vouch for the master data piece. A lot of our initiatives, they go haywire in case master data is not in place. Tapaswi, maybe the next question goes to you. Can you tell us some potential benefits and challenges when we implement automation in supply chain?
Yeah. So let's talk about benefits first. I'll talk about benefits of benefits. That is, we also manage in export and import, that is supply chain. We also have benefits from the government. We have to realize a lot of benefits from the government. So how do we realize those benefits? We need to have a proper data for that. So earlier, all these benefits were managed manually. They didn't have any systems wherein they told that, okay, this much of advanced license is spending, this much of ROTEP is spending, this much of EPCG is spending. This is all part of supply chain. We always talk about, transportation and warehousing. What about these when we are dealing with export and import? So automating this with your advanced license, with your shipping bill, and getting the data out of the shipping bill, and again tagging it to your commercial invoice, and having a variances between them, and getting the data out of it. So this will improve your working capital. So automation is directly impacting your working capital also. Then some automation projects are like getting the automated LRs from your system itself. So that is one project we had implemented, which was easily done. So this is one. Then auto-reading shipping bills or invoices, that is through bots. We have done this also. But again, what are the challenges in implementing automation? As Ramit said, one is we need to have the right set of data. That is one challenge. And second is, now whoever is the approving authority of this automation, is he the right person to approve? I mean, will they understand sitting on the other side? If you're telling a person who doesn't have experience in supply chain and if he's the approving authority, then how is it that you're going to drive your automation? That is a major challenge which companies face, most of it. Second is budget. Do you need these budgets? I mean, will it... See, automation is one thing, like digitization automation is like having son or a girl, son or a child. The thing is, you don't see ROI when you're having them. You see that, yes, they have to grow and then at one point of time, they'll, yield the results. So in the same way, automation, if you think today that what is the ROI, automation will not have direct impact on your ROI. But if people think that, okay, automation, what is the ROI in 5 years, what is the ROI in 7 years, then that is a challenge. So these are the challenges which usually, the organizations take.
I would just like to add something with your permission. One of the other challenges that we've seen as a company, while deciding what to automate is, what is the area that we want to automate? A lot of times, professionals have KPIs that you need to automate, something every year and come up with some new technology innovation or implement something new. So more often than not, what people land up doing is they automate the easiest thing. There may not be any requirement of automating it, but just because there is a KPI attached to it, कि कुछ दिखाना है, तो वो automate कर देते हैं. So the first and the fundamental question that we need to ask ourselves before taking the decision is that, are we automating something that is required, or are we just doing it for namesake कि कुछ करना है इसके लिए कर देते हैं? So I think that is also one very, very key element that all of us need to keep in our minds before deciding what we are automating, is there really a need for automating that? So yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Tapaswi, and thanks, Ronak. I think a very interesting perspective, from both of you. I think, and I can, to me, what really stands out is the human factor in automation. If the humans are biased, if the humans are running after the wrong thing, then the automation will never really succeed. Yeah. So I guess that's what we really need to take care of. Pradeep, we come back to you. So tell us about how automation can improve efficiency and productivity in supply chain.
In supply chain, when we talk about the most of the thing, you will find that lots of the manual error, because manual dependency is going to reduce once you automate. Then chances of error are going to reduce. But these are journal and total cost of operations are going to reduce. But now new things are emerging. So I want to emphasize more on if you will automate, your rejects are going to be reduced, and those are going to have an impact on the global footprint, because now it is not supply chain and sustainability which is going to be hands of hand. And lots of customers do ask that what is your sustainability score, how you are progressing on sustainability. So the burden of environment, the automation that works on reduction of those rejects, then this is going to be and now lots of countries and lots of customers do talk about the greener or the processes which are not giving impact on the environment. The sustainability is going to be the one major productivity and overall business level improvement. Apart from that, in automation, generally we do take notional that this is going to be reducing the cost. But for automation, tracking and treating this as a project where we are going to be non-notional imperatives, we are going. So the manual dependency, then overall lead times are getting reduced. And third thing is when we talk about supply chain, so supply chain is not only a product or services, but more important is the supply chain of information. So the automation project always help us that we do have one version of information, the fact version of the information across the supply chain. So this is something which is going to be helping more on getting the repeated customer and repeated orders. So this is something which I feel is going. There are many other, when we talk about the cost of rework and manpower cost, these are I think not that much great, but sustainability and having overall supply chain of information is playing a crucial role when we go for a automation project. Yeah.
Thanks, Pradeep. And I think sustainability, that was something very nice that you brought in. And I think you would like to mention something.
I just wanted to add one point. See, passing the communication is very important within the supply chain. Supply chain has a different, verticals, different branches. And the communication is getting passed from one team to another team, planning to procurement, procurement to logistics, logistics to distribution, and then to the end user. I'll just give you one example. Suppose a PR is raised from factory, it is get approved from the planning, and procurement is raising a PO. Until and unless consignment is shipped from the supplier, the import logistic team doesn't have the visibility of the consignment. Suppose air consignment is coming, and today morning I got an intimation from procurement team that say I'm importing a API. But on the importation, I realized that I don't have the license to import API. So if I have a visibility in system and automation in system, when a PR or PO is getting punched in system, if the logistics team is getting intimated automatically, maybe I'll be prepared with the license 30 or 40 odd day before of arriving at the consignment. So this is how automation is going to help each and every member of supply chain. Thank you.
Thank you, Ugrasen. I think that was very insightful. So maybe, Ugrasen, let's keep the mic with you for now, and tell us about the role of data analytics, artificial intelligence. These have become buzzwords these days, but are they really just buzzwords, or are they really helping you, especially in your organization?
So this is how you take the automation. My colleague has said that just it is your KPI and you are in building a software or going for automation, or that really going to help and save your time. I see lots of, our colleague is sitting in office and entering data or exchanging an email between the various team of supply chain and our logistic partner, CHA transporter. So AI and automation can really help them to pass on the information automatically, which will ultimately save the communication time. Email, we're putting lots of time in writing an email. If I have to give an example, I'll give an example of ASN. So what we do in our international trade, we ask our international supplier to submit invoice along with the batch level information. So if my consignment is getting shipped from USA, my supplier will share me the invoice document. Along with that, they will enter the batch level data in my system, which is getting flown from procurement, logistics, till the factory. The moment my factory is creating a GR, he don't need to enter each and every parameter. He has to just pull the data available in system and punch the GRN. See, the transparency is created starting from the supply of the material. I know which batch, what is the batch size, what parameter I require to do a GRN quality compliance, and the same data is flown into systems. No chance of error. So I strongly believe that AI and automation is definitely going to help, the industry. I just wanted to give one more example what we did. So always a PO is raised on the foreign supplier, and there's a cost associated which is part of your GRIR and inventory. The clearance cost, the freight cost, the logistic cost, and everything has to be loaded on the material cost. This is how our system is built. Every time a user need to amend the PO and enter some amount of data in every PO line item, which is a waste of time. And automation can help it, because I am getting this information from my CHA, from my solution. Thus, I need to create a bridge between SAP and my system or any other system to push this data in SAP. See how much time we can save. So as a Cipla, we clear 400 to 500 consignment per month. Every PO line item has a 10 to 15 line item. See the amount of data somebody is entering in system which have no value addition to the system. So this is how we can. This is one example what I'm giving. There's thousands of examples which the ground level people can help us to develop a system with the help of AI, with the help of system, wherein we can save the precious time of a user, which can be put in thought process, implementing the new processes, and do some value addition to the company instead of entering data into system or writing email or making calls on phone, which is not required in today's the IT development platform what we have. Thank you.
So only to adding what Ugrasen has shared, that AI ML are now helping in the predictive decision making. So previously, the lots of insight for decision making is coming from AI ML data. Previously, if you get some new opportunity in the market, because which organization is not handled on those requirement, customer requirement. So previously, what was happening that the requirements were going to research group, then they were taking their own trial, and they were working on lots of design of experiment, and after a few months, they were able to tell that whether we can capture that opportunity, and most of the time those opportunity have some life or some short. These exist for a very shorter horizon, because of the world is so complex, and so the customers are happening. Then AI ML, you can predict that whether in past or considering my best of parameters I have achieved, whether I can grab that business opportunity or I can't. So now the AI ML are helping more on a predictive side of decision making, and thinking about lots of new business development opportunity faster to market, because idea to market, which is happening to be a lag of 2 to 3 years, now with the help of this AI ML opportunities, we can grab those things very, very fast, and decision can be taken fast, whether we can grab that opportunity or not. Everything we can work for. So and lots of research resources or cost we can avoid on the opportunity side of the development. Yeah, thank you.
So adding to that, Ramit.
Yeah, brother.
See, automation in terms of logistics, what are we requiring from this AI and ML? Say, for example, V-Trans delivers part loads to A, B, C customers. It picks material from us, it consolidates, and then sends the material to A, B, C, D customers. 1, 2, 3, 4 drop points. Okay, they're consolidating, that's right. But what's the next level? What we are looking at, from you or in the industry, in machine learning or automation is that, now when you're dropping at point 1, what are the constraints there? Did the customer take the first time? Or did he tell that, no, I can't unload, you come back again? So these guys have to, again take that or wait over there for 6 hours. That's again cost for them. One, cost for us also. Second is, they miss that delivery. They say that we'll come back again. They try to redeliver. That's a cost again for them as well as us, both. So next time when we're planning this order, when we give this particular order to VTrans or any other software, the software should be able to tell us that, look, you have given this order, this particular customer in the last 6 instances has not unloaded on time, or his unloading time was 4 hours or 5 hours, which was above average. So additional cost for this customer would be this, or we have to reroute this customer in the routing mechanism, or you'll have to deliver a full truckload. If we have this kind of data, then we can go and sit back with sales and then talk to them to change their order management. So we are looking at that kind of advancements.
Excellent. I think, this is something that we also are consciously working upon. Though it is not possible to predict it 100% every time, but, definitely we are seeing a lot of positive results coming our way. Where, historically, if we have some case studies or cases where certain deliveries have been attempted and there were certain exceptions, that analysis is very much possible and doable. One thing I would like to share, for the benefit of you, and Ramit, especially you. So we work with Henkel, since probably 10, 11 years now. And one thing we do is that, because having so much experience and completed multiple months of services, what we do is now during the month ends, when there is a lot of, pressure in placing vehicles, we through our experience are placing vehicles through our own predictive analysis, even without orders coming from you guys. And, I would say probably 70% of the times, the vehicles are landing up getting consumed. So that is one innovation that we've done for Henkel also. Thank you.
Fantastic. And in fact, I have a very related question to both Tapaswi and to Ronak, but I just want to relate a personal experience also. So, a few years back, I was asked to build up the data science team in Henkel. And my own skills are limited to Excel and that to, VLOOKUP, and that's about it. So, but anyways, we went ahead, we hired a few data scientists, but I can tell you the kind of difference that has made, the kind of analytics that we are able to get now, using with VTrans, with our other partners, I think is fascinating. The kind of results we are seeing is really fascinating. So yes, I can also vouch for it. Automation and especially the data analytics really helps. So, but then, Ronak, there's this huge debate around ChatGPT, AI aa jayega and all the jobs will go away. So give us your perspective on that piece. What do you think is going to be the impact on workforce with this whole automation coming in?
So, Ramit, the way I look at it is, automation will be an enabler of optimizing efficiencies. I don't see it as an either-or, meaning it is never going to be only automation that will be enough to run the show. The human element of it, the human emotions, no one can replace, and the humans are here to stay. But there are certain activities, which are repetitive in nature, which need to be performed, on a fast-track basis. If you want to, increase your productivity, if you want to reduce errors, those kind of activities can definitely be automated and can be made more efficient. But the human angle of it, it is very, very difficult to replace, the humans out of it. So we at VTrans, we believe in one thing. Though we make a significant investment in technology and automation, we make even more investments in training and development of our manpower. Because, with the technology becoming more and more smart, so, throughout the day, since morning we are hearing, Jay, we heard Arpit, we heard Kapil, they are talking about, so much automation that they are doing, and the systems are becoming more and more intelligent. So with the systems becoming more intelligent, people will have to reskill or upskill themselves to handle these new systems. So definitely, I think the human element will remain, and there is a very, very unique term for it, which is called a cobotic world, where humans will work along with machines in harmony, and that, according to me, is the best fit moving forward. So answering your question, it's not an either or, it's always a collaborative approach where man and machine will become friends, which they are, and the friendship will only strengthen, and both will exist one another together.
So I just wanted to add one thing,
please.
what Ronak has said. So chatbot, AI, this is going to enable you and save your time to help you in your decision making. So we had just implemented ChatGPT, and management is a bit conscious whether people are going to use it or not. But the result we had seen in last 3 weeks, everybody is happy. So today my supplier is he will go to his WhatsApp, he just type his query, and he has the forecast of PO what he is getting. So he is prepared. My plant is not used to write an email to procurement guy or the planning team or somebody in logistics. He will just go to his WhatsApp, type his PO number with the query, and information is there. See, the amount of time we are wasting in calling somebody. Now people are busy on WhatsApp, phone, your Zoom meeting and your Teams meeting. It's very difficult to get people on over the call. So these kind of innovation is really going to save our time, and that save time we can invest in some innovative things which can help us and the company. So future is very bright, guys. What my request to everybody, please used to be using all this technology. This is going to help you in finishing your work in number 1, save your time. Number 2, helping with you the data output. And third is, you can invest that time in doing some good thing. I just wanted to give a small example. If somebody is using Office 365, you just make a presentation, go to the styler, click on styler, he will give you 100 of options with the beautiful design. Try this feature. These are all free. Go to website, log into the MS Office, MS Web Office, go to the, make a PPT, just put your data and use the designer. You will be surprised to see how these things are working. Even on your Excel, you can go and use the analytic function where system is giving you the trend. You have just write a question. Simple question in simple writing, and Excel will work for you. And these are the feature which is available free on the website. Please use those things. This will definitely going to help you where you are not expert. Thank you.
Thanks, Ugrasen. I think I need to take a time check. I guess Pradeep needs to rush for a meeting. So thanks, Pradeep. It's been great having you. We'll continue the discussion, of course. Thank you. All right. So, Tapaswi, back to you. You were giving us some examples. Can you maybe share some more projects, that you have experienced in your illustrious career that can talk to us about automation and how we go about them? How can we actually harness the potential of that automation?
Sure. See, before I go to the example, those examples, I just want to bifurcate this automation in terms of 4 pillars, We always, when we are trying for automation, we have to see that what kind of automation is this? Is it the automation for supplier, enabling the supplier, or is it the automation of internal systems, your SAP? Within your SAP, you have internal systems like your demand planning system, S&OP system, then have your TMS, then you have a WMS. So this is one automation we are looking at. And third one is automating with external stakeholders. That is automating with VTrans or APML or any CHA. IceGate, although we can't because IceGate hasn't opened up yet to share an API with us, so we can't do it. So these kind of automations, banking, so these kind of automations, we have to divide that and then focus accordingly. That is one thing, first thing. So the recent automation, what we did is submitting our LC documents with ICICI Bank. Earlier, all these documents are invoice, shipping bill, all these documents, LC, all these documents we were submitting to ICICI physically. So now what we have done is we have shared and we have requested ICICI to do this automation, share their API. So we are submitting these documents online. So this has also, helped us in discounting the cash flow. That is also one automation we have done. Second automation I've worked on is integrating our SAP with the TMS modules. So we have TMS modules. There are a lot of TMS, Oracle TMS. Then there is Transport Easy. Then we have, you have a module. So many transporters have their own modules. Now, integrating this TMS module with SAP. But Ramit, what I can tell you is this hasn't yielded much of a result. People usually say that, okay, if you implement TMS and integrate with SAP, is it going to yield result? No, it cannot because your end system is not integrated. Once you have a whole system, wholesome system, that is, you have your demand planning also in it, you have your supply planning also in it, you have your logistics in it. When they talk to each other seamlessly, only then these can be, you'll have better results out of it. Or else these are individual systems, you have individual automations, so they are not integrating. So we don't have service providers, majorly all these ERPs, who give an integrated solution. Either they give in bits and parts. That is one issue which is always there, and that we have to cater to. Then, second automation we have done is integrating with this 3PL websites. We have integrated with all these 3PL websites. We are getting, before that I'll tell you, one automation we have done is bill of entry and shipping bill. So earlier we were getting this bill of entry and shipping bills. Now they directly come to our drive in Google. They get uploaded in the drive, and the 200 odd columns in shipping bill and some 50 odd columns in bill of entry. All these data, whatever is there, the bot reads all those data and gets it back to an Excel and gives the variance report. So this is one automation. Then we have implemented RFID in most of the warehouses in textile. So each and every roll we have, under the roll we have put a barcode sticker. So once you scan the sticker under the roll, so it gives, okay, what is the length of this roll? What is the GSM of the roll. So all these details which gives. So these are the automations we have done currently.
Thank you. Thanks, Tapaswi.
And ASRS is one thing that's a big automation.
Of course. Of course. Ronak, would you like to add anything to that?
No, I'm actually okay.
Okay. So then Ronak, I have another question for you. So Ronak, tell us about the emerging trends and technologies in automation, because I think there's, I think we've already established there's going to be a significant impact. There's already a significant impact that we have. But tell us about what next? What are those emerging trends and technologies? I know that you are at the cutting edge of a lot of things in your organization. Talk to us about that.
So I think, there are a lot of automation avenues available for companies who are looking to automate. It can start from, simple sorting to barcoding. These are all been there since, quite some time now. The emerging trends that, I personally see at our organization while working with clients very closely is today we've been hearing it, throughout the morning, is about data analysis. See, data analytics and demand planning is one of the most emerging trends. Everyone has a pile full of data available in their system. It is sitting somewhere. But before doing that, one advice from me to anyone who is wanting to use the data for analytics and decision making is the entire piece of data management. Today, data would be sitting at multiple places, either in your ERP or in your TMS system, or it would be sitting in Excel sheets, anywhere. It is very important that you collate all that data and bring it to a data lake, which becomes a central, it can be a cloud-based database, a data lake, where all this information is available. And then you can apply various modules, various algorithms, various systems, and then churn it. If the data is incomplete, we all would have heard this term multiple times, garbage in, garbage out. If the quality of data is poor, you can do very little with the data available. So it is very, very important that we start with data management, then we go into analytics, and then we take decision basis on those analytics. So datamatics and, doing datamatics is one of the most, widely emerging trend. Robotics also, I've seen certain warehouses, he was talking about ASRS right now. But, a lot of e-commerce clients, a lot of e-commerce companies have started using robots in their warehouses to automate a lot of routine processes. So that is one. I recently went to America. There I saw drone deliveries. There are 3 startups, which are actively doing drone deliveries in the West. Even in India, there is a lot of talk going around, how can we commercialize drones for doing intercity deliveries. So that is also there, which can come up, in the times to come. Machine learning is also there. Blockchain. In the entire EXIM documentation, where the documentation is very, very cumbersome, there are, pages of documentations, which you need to maintain, as per statutory norms. Their blockchain is, adding a lot of value. So yeah, so I think these are some of the trends which are, emerging very, very strongly even in the logistics domain. And I believe as time goes, they will only become more and more intelligent and will really help us improve efficiencies and increase productivity.
So adding to your drone deliveries, there's one startup which I evaluated recently. So they have started in Northeast. So they have been approved by the government to deliver this pharmaceuticals. So all these medicines, they are doing through drones, because in Northeast it is very difficult to deliver between the mountains and the terrains. So they're doing it, they've been approved. So that started.
Right. Even we just did our pilot project. So you're planning to deliver life-saving drugs to those areas where, transportation is very difficult. So probably a payload of 5 to 10 kg, which helps, saving people life. One thing I just wanted to request everyone, everybody is talking about the, automation and everything. The important piece is missing is compliance. I am not seeing any system who talks on compliance. See, in today's scenario, there is lots of compliance which need to be maintained by any company. So we are into pharma, we have more compliance to follow. Maybe you have some less compliance, but compliance are very important. And all the service providers who are developing these systems, nobody talks on the compliance. So my request to entire, IT fraternity to please look into the compliance part, which is really going to help. Being a compliant is everybody's requirement. And if my system is compliant, like you said, your bill of entry things, if I have to, submit my data to the customs, and before putting the data, if custom can alert me, because this product requires this compliance, this license, or I have to comply with filing this data to the department, which is really going to help. I am looking for the service provider, I am talking to people, but I am not seeing any solution. So please, start looking into compliance, which is a key part of any company, in any business. Thank you.
Thanks, Ugrasen. And I think that's a very good point. I always tell my partners, my team, my colleagues that, compliance is the guardrail inside which we operate. So I think that's a very pertinent point that you make there. And just to also add to Ronak's point, we have successfully deployed drones now in some of our warehouses, not yet in India, but we have done it already, especially for inventory counts. And I think that brings in a lot of savings in terms of resources. Also, we don't have to stop our operations. These drones do their counting when, the world is sleeping and so on. So I think it's pretty error-proof as well. I know that the time is up, and I know that we are holding, we are standing between you and your lunch. But I just want to ask the organizers, do we have any time for any audience questions, or shall we call it? Okay, so in case there are any questions, I do see a hand up there. Can somebody hand him the mic?
Can we have a mic, please? Ladies and gentlemen, we can manage 2 questions.
So this question is for Tapaswi. I think you must be missing your previous 2 organizations, especially Coke and Bacardi.
Absolutely. Both go together.
Yeah. Okay. So the question is for you. The question is for you. You mentioned that, people, management should not look at ROI for automation. But see, we operate in an environment where budgets are sacrosanct, right? And there are conflicting demands from marketing, sales, where if you put 1 rupee, you get 20% return or 20% return. So management also is pulled from various directions. So how can we make our automation projects, valuable? Maybe use case from other industries, use case from same industry but other company to get our automation projects cleared.
Sure.
Or approved.
Yeah, wonderful. So, Ramit, if I may, can I take the example of Henkel also? Yeah.
Please.
So, even in Henkel, say for automation, we had 8,000 pallet positions for ASRS, but still we went ahead and implemented ASRS in Henkel, which ROI would have been for 10 to 12 years was the ROI. But still we went ahead and implemented ASRS. That is because the thought process is think 10 years ahead. 10 years ahead, what would be the way of operations? What would be the manpower cost? Now, to put that into an ROI system, that is what I was talking about. The other person could understand, yes, we have to go ahead with this. Those are such cases. Next is I have also implemented, say for example, the shipping bill automation and bill of entry automation. That came at a cost. Now, what is the ROI for that? There is no ROI for that. But there is compliance for that, because after 5 years, when the DG system audits and sees that you have filed the wrong bill of entry, or you have filed the wrong scheme code, or you have filed the wrong HSN, then the impact of that cost is going to be in crores, duty with interest. So, I mean, this is how we have to make the management understand that, okay, at present there is no ROI for this. This is not going to yield any result immediately, but the implications in future, 5 years, 10 years ahead, are going to be multi-scale. So that is how, there are some projects, okay, if you have to build an infrastructure, okay, a warehouse, or own a truck, yes, there is realistic ROI, you have to give it. If we have to buy a ship, yes, there is a realistic ROI, we have to give it. But these are some soft elements we have to put into these, COVID has helped us a lot in implementing these projects. So if you see, when we are submitting projects to the management earlier before COVID, and if you see now, there is a sea change in their thought process also. So that is one thing, that is a weapon we have got, what if COVID comes? That is also a weapon in getting these projects approved.
Thanks, Tapaswi.
Thank you so much.
I don't know if maybe there's one more question, or we can call it wraps. I guess that's it.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much to our moderator and other panelists for giving us such wonderful session. Can we have a big round of applause, please, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you. Now I would like to call upon stage Mr. Jivraj to felicitate our moderator and the other panelists. Thank you. Requesting Mr. Jivraj to please felicitate